Good morning, everyone. Morning warm up. So today I want to talk about stress and, dealing with stress and dealing with challenges in life. And I'm going to give you what I call the 3 F's. And these aren't from me. These are actually from Brendan Bouchard. My Growth Day app is a great app. If you aren't familiar with it, you might want to check into it. But he was just talking about this today, and it really resonated with me because it's funny how information comes to you in the opportune times. And so I want to talk about those 3 F's. And so when you think about stress is energy that's really not released. And it's our inability to deal with anxiety, with fear, catastrophizing, those types of things. So the first F in dealing with stress is understanding fatigue. Fatigue is when you have what we call low energy, right? And you're not mentally able to cope because you're tired. You may be burned out. You've got a lot going on in your life. You've got way too many balls in the air, if you will. And so how do we cope with that fatigue? Well, one of them is just simply routine. So what are your routines? What do you do in the morning? What do you do in the evening? What's your exercise routine? How are you releasing some of that energy and allowing your brain to rest a little bit? Think about sleep. Are you getting quality sleep? Are you able to get quality sleep every night? Think about your food consumption. Think about, are you laughing? Are you being joyful, right? Or are you just a ball of tight, stressed energy all the time? So fatigue is a big one. And if we don't take care of ourselves with healthy routines and healthy habits and healthy eating habits, hydration, right? Drinking enough water, taking your vitamins, those types of things. First thing is to deal with that fatigue, because when you're in a very tired state, it's very, very hard for this to work properly, to cope and to refocus and to recalibrate, which brings us to the next F, which is focus, right? Folks, there's past, present, and future. One thing I'm going to tell you, can't change the past. You can't. It is what it is. It happened the way it happened. You may not like it. You may dwell on it a lot, but the past is done. It's over. I cannot go back there. So a couple things on that. What's your perspective? Where do you choose to put the majority of your energy? Do you put it in what's happened back here? Do you put it in what you're doing today? Or do you think about the future and do you let the past be predictive of where you're going to go? Because one thing we do know, your past is not predictive of your future. And the other one I always ask myself is, what can I control and what can't I control? Where am I putting my focus there, right? And here's a question that I want you all to think about. When we recalibrate our focus, so if I've got a challenge happening right here today with me, I'm going to focus on it and say a couple things. Number one, I'm going to say, what can I control? What can't I control? Where am I choosing to place my energy? Because here's what we know. Whatever you do today determines where you're going to be tomorrow. Your past has already happened. So you have to recalibrate where you're choosing to focus. So I always ask this question. It's a great question you might want to ask yourself. How would the person that I want to be deal with the situation today? So if I have this future vision of who I am and who I want to be, which is not something from the past, I have to ask myself, what decisions will I make today to move forward? And so fatigue, focus, recalibrate your focus, recalibrate where you're pushing your energy. And the last one is faith. The last F. What's faith? Belief in yourself. Big one. Belief in creating what you want. Belief that you have the ability to deal with this problem, right? That you have the ability to move through it and to come out on the other side of it successful. And I'm going to leave you with this last quote because I want you to think about this, because this is really apropos to what we're talking about right here in terms of dealing with stress. And it's from Buddha, and it's this: what you think, you become. So what you think, you become, because you're creating that energy, which leads to what you feel, you attract, right? So when I'm in that stressful state, I'm in that negative state, I keep attracting more of that. And last but not least, what you imagine, you create. So many times what happens is we will imagine things that maybe haven't even happened yet, and we start to create them. So think about that. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. And what you imagine, you create. So think about dealing with your stress, the 3 F's: fatigue, focus, faith. Think about it. All right, everybody. Hey, make it a great day. Be awesome. Help somebody. Talk to you later.